Hello, everyone. I'm Alula Hagos. I teach the Criminal Defense and Justice Clinic here at GW. We are a brand new clinic, very brand new. We just launched this fall of 2021. And it's been a fun adventure thus far, and we hope you will consider joining us. So let me tell you a little bit about what we do. Essentially, we represent poor people who are charged with crimes here in DC. Our goal is to provide the highest quality representation to each of our clients. And specifically, we represent people who are charged with misdemeanors. Per the student practice rule, we cannot take felony cases, at least not pretrial, and we practice in DC Superior Court, the local courthouse here in DC. Now, misdemeanor charges in DC can really run the gamut. There's a wide variety, ranging from some of the pettier offenses like unlawful entry, trespassing essentially, to assault, to certain weapons offenses. Our cases right now include a few cases of assault on a police officer. We have some domestic assault cases, clients charged with threats, theft, to give you a sense. We are appointed to cases by the court through a process informally called pickup, where we're assigned to clients who were just arrested, typically the night before. We interview them in the cell block, prepare arguments for their release, and then we represent them at their arraignment, their first appearance in court that day. That all happens the same day, usually within a few hours. So that's a busy first day, but that's how we pick up our clients. And then we obviously keep those cases going forward until their resolution. Now, the casework will be different than any other course or experience you've had in law school. Unlike an externship or an internship where you're mostly supporting attorneys, you are the lawyers in this clinic, and really all the clinics. But you have direct responsibility over each of your cases and will be representing clients at every stage, from the moment a client is arrested, that pickup process I mentioned, to when their case concludes, however that may be, through dismissal or a not guilty, hopefully, or a plea or sentencing, should your client be convicted. And a lot really happens in between. Our student attorneys are conducting investigation in the field. Student attorneys do take on the role of investigators or interviewing witnesses, drafting discovery requests, interviewing and counseling clients, filing motions, preparing for trial, and I could go on and on. But you will not do this alone. I can't stress that enough. You will be supervised very closely by the faculty. We will be there to guide you really every step of the way. And generally, student attorneys work in teams of two. So there are two lawyers on each case. Teams maintain a caseload of at least two cases, usually 3 to 4. And our model is very collaborative, just as it would be in a law practice, which we really think prepares you going forward, wherever your career takes you. A few quick words on the seminar component. So that our semester starts off with an intensive orientation program, which is usually held over a weekend, either just before the semester or the first week of the semester. It's usually about 3 to 4 full days. So that's something to prepare for if you are interested in this clinic. But it's basically a crash course on all the substantive law and skills, not all the substantive law, but the critical substantive law and skills that we really think you will need in order to start picking up clients from day one, which really happens pretty soon after the semester starts. After that, we meet once a week for 2 hours. We occasionally have classes on Fridays. We build in a couple of extra classes primarily for case rounds so students can workshop their cases, which students seem to find very beneficial. But in the seminar, we focus on a range of topics to prepare you for this work and going forward, and to build on what we learned in orientation. You are mastering the substantive and procedural law relevant to criminal defense practice. But there's also a great deal of focus on the skills training, both pretrial skills and trial skills, because you are quickly stepping into this role as a defense attorney. You know, we want to make sure you are able to really develop and refine the many skills you'll need to be effective in that role. And it's all done through the lens of client-centered lawyering. So we'll be focusing on your client's needs, your client's interests, and how to best achieve those roles. Also, just briefly, through our discussions in class, as well as our supervision and casework, our students are also developing a great deal of insight about the criminal justice system. They're thinking critically about whether it is a fair and just system. We're spending a lot of time talking about the systemic issues that really intersect with the criminal justice system, such as race. 95% of defendants in DC are African American men. Poverty, mental illness, mass incarceration, and we're thinking critically about how the system can be improved holistically. So there may also be an opportunity to work on a longer term project that addresses some of those broader issues. So that was a lot. But, while this work is incredibly demanding, we also think it's very fulfilling, hopefully one of the most fulfilling experiences of your academic career. It's certainly never boring, and we're having a lot of fun. So we hope you'll consider joining us. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please look to our clinic materials, but also please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All right, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jordan Scher. I was a student attorney in the Criminal Defense and Justice Clinic in fall 2022, and after graduation I am heading to the Federal Defenders of San Diego. First I want to talk about the clinic time commitment. It is a serious time commitment. Pretty much everybody in my clinic went over the 270 hours required for a 6-credit class. But what I tell people is that everything that you do for clinic counts towards that time logging, and some of this so-called work is really fun, or at least I thought it was fun. Sometimes it's just talking to people on the phone, forming relationships with clients and with their family, researching issues related to your clients, which is often more interesting than just reading a case book, conducting investigations and research, and visiting scenes related to your cases, going to the courthouse, watching your colleagues in court, helping your colleagues with their cases. These are things that are better than what you would find in normal law school classes. So it's good work, although there is a lot of it, and that's the nature of direct services representation, is there's a lot that you can do for your clients, and that's really an advantage of working in clinic. Overall, I have found that clinic has been one of the most, no, sorry, not even one of, it has been the most meaningful and interesting experiences that I've done in law school. It was also, I found, critical for helping me find employment after graduation. Being able to talk to Professor Hagos and the Friedman Fellow in our clinic, who's sadly leaving GW, but that's the nature of having a fellow, and having that kind of experience and insight in former public defenders for me was really critical and really helpful with finding post-grad employment. So for sure, everyone should do clinic if they can get it into their schedule, and if there's something in their practice area that they want to actually try practicing, because practicing is just so much better than studying in law school.
Hi everybody, my name is Angela Seagraves. I'm a 3L in the Criminal Defense and Justice Clinic. CDJC represents indigent clients that are charged with criminal misdemeanors in DC Superior Court. I've had an incredible time in clinic and I'm excited to tell you guys about it. My clinic work takes up most of my time. Everybody in this clinic are paired up in teams of 2, and each team takes on 2 or 3 cases. I've done tons of things that made me feel like a public defender, from arguing for release at arraignment, to hosting client meetings and conducting all the investigations, to negotiating plea offers, writing motions, and seeking social services for our clients. My favorite part is that I've gotten to speak for my clients in court at a bunch of different types of hearings, from probation hearings, status hearings, sentencing, you name it. Later in the semester, one of my cases is going to a bench trial, and I'm really excited to be lead counsel on that. So it takes up most of my time, and I personally balance that with taking night classes and using my pass no pass credits where I can. I think this clinic might be one of the more time-intensive clinics, but there are many ways to balance your time during that with school and other personal obligations. And I think anyone in clinic will tell you that it takes up a lot of time, but that it's really worth it, especially this one. In this clinic, I've gained so many essential skills to being a successful litigation attorney. I personally want to be a public defender after graduation, but I would say this clinic is for anybody who wants to go into litigation. I can go on forever about all the great things that I've learned, but some highlights for me are learning how to speak confidently in court, how to effectively advocate for your clients with opposing counsel, and how to interact with real-life clients and people in the community who need our services. The weekly seminars and our meetings with our supervisors also make me feel really supported while still feeling really confident in my independent abilities. Overall, I would say that my time in CDJC has been the best part of law school for me, because even though sometimes it can feel like it's a lot of work, all of the work that I do goes directly to helping someone's life in the community and making a real difference. And that just makes everything that I learned in classes, every internship experience that I've learned, so much more real, because in this clinic role, you actually get to take on the role as someone's attorney, especially in this clinic where you're working so close with your clients and doing so much in your cases. It's an incredible experience. I would say that hasn't been a better way to learn how to be an attorney than to actually being put in that position. And in this clinic, I feel like I have been given the great opportunity to be someone's lawyer, and it makes me feel prepared to be able to do this job after graduation, and I would recommend it to anybody.